Hi, Gina.
Hi, Kath. Good morning.
Good morning.
Remember to text Duncan the other day? I forgot to remind you.
No, I didn't remember, but he's on.
Probably show up. Oh, he's here. Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hi, Gina.
Good morning. Is it Gina who said that or Maria? Maria said that.
Yes.
I did too. Gina did too.
I love your little palm tree.
Thank you.
Very ironic.
Yeah, it helps me feel at home.
Hi, Maria.
Good morning, Kathy.
I bought the book, Kathy.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Which book is
The David Swenson.
David Swenson. That's great.
Yeah, I was very excited to see that it's spiral and I could lay it.
I know. He did that on purpose.
I read that. I was like, you're so smart.
If you flip back to page like 257, maybe.
257 is the short forms.
Okay, so somewhere around there. Hi, Amelia. Somewhere around there is sun salutations in standing. And then primary series is like the next page, right?
In the back, all the short forms. It's in the front is where that stuff is.
Let me grab my book.
It's in like 248. Yeah, 248 is the primary.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was doing with my pages.
No, you're great.
Then you can 240 are the Surya Namaskara.
Yeah. So page 244 and 245, you probably already know the sun salutations. And then the standing sequence today. Hi, Duncan.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. The standing sequence, we're going to go through to the first posture on page 247. When I start saying page numbers, it reminds me of going to church as a tiny, tiny kid. And I had to go to church with my babysitter, and they went to this church where the preacher was like frightening everyone. I was scared to death. And when I look back on it, I think my parents were using Sunday morning to try to have their second kid. Because there was no reason for me to be going to this frickin' church. Anyway, whenever I say a page number, it reminds me of church. So on page 247, we're going to do standing up to Pashimotanasana. Then we're going to go into primary through Marichasana D, which is the next page. Then we're going to do the first part of intermediate, and how far we go just depends on how much time we have.
I'll probably have to drop off before then. But thank you for that.
And then the finishing sequence is on the next page. So I feel like those are actually the most useful pages during practice, because you get more than one posture per page. Hey, did you get a copy of the cheat sheet that I sent people?
No.
Okay, if you text me your address, I'll send a couple to you.
Okay, and your phone number is on the
On the website. Yeah, that's my cell phone.
Okay. Yes, I will text you my address.
Awesome. Hey, Duncan, I tried to remember to text you back, but I failed.
Yeah, that's okay. If we could just talk over the next couple of days.
Okay, you don't want to ask me the question right now?
No, it's a personal question.
Oh, I thought it was an Ashtanga question.
Well, it is an Ashtanga question. I'm just kind of in a difficult situation.
That could be any one of the postures.
No, it's not the postures. It's something different.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, it's nothing.
Nothing big.
I'm good. It's just.
Well, I'll get a hold of you, or just text me and remind me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but wasn't that funny that you said difficult, and I said, oh, that could be any of the postures? That's funny. They're supposed to be difficult.
Yeah, they are difficult. They're very difficult.
They're very, they can be. They can also be like difficult, easy, a nice combo.
Right.
They're difficult, and yet we keep coming back.
Hey, Gina. Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gina,
Okay.
I don't see Kathy there, but
So I
when you guys, oh, okay. Kathy, I have a question.
Good.
Did you guys, when you got together in the studio, did you used to do the closing chant?
Like 100 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
Because I saw that, I think, in one of the videos that you shared, and I was like, it would be so beautiful to just hear it sometime.
Yeah.
I know that it's not like that common to do.
If you remind me at the end of this session, I'll do it. If I don't remember. I swept this morning, but I missed a couple dust balls. That's why I left the frame. Okay, we'll get started in 1 second. Maria, somewhere I have a bookmark and it has the opening chant words on it, but maybe the opening chant is also in David's book. Isn't it funny that bright sunlight makes my room not really very functional? Does anyone else have any questions or requests? That's actually a little bit better. Great. Hi, Rocky. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Katie. Hi, Marga. Hi, Maria. Hi, Maya. Cool. All right. Oh, I know why I was up there. I'll mute us. Come on up to the front of the mat. Hands touch. Feet touch. Opening chant. Inhale. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarashita Svatma Sukhavabodhe Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Parushakaram Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Chin tucks under, look toward the belly button. Strong arms, strong quadriceps. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Samastati. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Strong and even. Strong Mula Bandha, nice hollow breathing. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Samastati. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Next inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale up, hands touch. Samastati. Bending the knees. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, inhale up. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale up. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Strong Mula Bandha, nice Ujjayi breath. Steady drishti. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale up, knees bend. Samastatihi. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Strong and even and comfortable, kind of loud. Next inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Samastatihi. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, inhale, warrior. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale, warrior. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Next inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Samastatihi. It's an inhale. Open the feet, grab the big toes. Exhale, elbows bend. Padangustasana. Drishti is the belly button. It's okay to bend the knees. Whatever feels best. Strong Mula Bandha. It's an exhale, hands under the feet. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend. Padahastasana. Drishti is wherever it's the safest. If you have great balance, Drishti is the belly button. On an inhale, arms straight. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up, you're looking up. Exhale, samastatihi, look forward. Inhale, open for triangle. Exhale, down. First two fingers loop the big toe. Drishti is the top hand. Uttita Trikanasana. Tuck the chin in toward the shoulder just a little bit. It's an inhale to rise. Exhale, second side. First two fingers, take the big toe. Strong Mula Bandha, strong quadriceps. Tuck the chin in a little bit toward that top shoulder. Next inhale, up and over. I like to windmill my arms. Exhale down, Parivrtta Trikanasana, rotated triangle. Flat hand on the floor, shoulders line up. Tuck the chin in just a little bit. Try to put more weight into that back foot. Top hand stays where it is, stays strong. It's an exhale. Look at the bottom hand. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, side two. Parivrtta Trikanasana. Strong legs, strong Mula Bandha. Weight in the back foot. So your own exhale, look at the bottom hand. Inhale, come up and open. Samastati. It's an inhale, open for extended side angle. Exhale down. Drishti is the hand, and this time, instead of tucking the chin is thrown back a little bit. Mula Bandha stays on through the transition. Inhale up. Exhale, side two. Utthita Parsvakonasana. It's an inhale up and over. Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. It's an inhale up and over. Second side. Strong Mula Bandha. Beautiful. It's an inhale up. Samastatihi. I love those postures. Inhale, open, hands are on the hips. Exhale, hands are on the floor. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Strong quads, strong Mula Bandha. It's an inhale, arms straight. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up, look up. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Strong quadriceps, nice even breathing. Just listen to your breath. Next inhale, come on up, look up. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, interlace. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over. Prasarita Padottanasana C. On your own inhale, come on up. That looks so comfortable. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, hands stay on the hips. Exhale, hands to the toes. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend. On any inhale, arms straight. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Hi, Erica. Samastatihi. Pashimotanasana. Legs come into the same shape as triangle, and it's an exhale down, forehead toward the leg. If it's easy, hands up the back in prayer. If it's not, any idea is a good idea. It's an inhale up. Exhale, side two. Strong and even. It's an inhale up and open. Samastatihi. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, through jump. Dandasana, the first posture of first series. Feet are flexed, chin is tucked, chest is lifted. Mula Bandha is always on. Nice, nice. Fingers point forward. Yeah, perf. Unless you don't want them to, then they don't. It's an exhale. First two fingers grab the big toes. Inhale, arch. Exhale, fold. Pashimotanasana A. Strong Mula Bandha, strong quadriceps. What I've been doing for the past week and a half, 2 weeks now, probably week and a half, is wherever I put my head down onto my shins, instead of scooching it further forward and keeping that same contact point, I actually roll up my head. So my contact point might go from the middle of my forehead up toward my hairline. On an exhale, switch the hand position. Inhale, arch. Exhale, fold. Pashimotanasana B. And another one, any hand position you want. Change it up on an exhale. Inhale, arch. Pull that lower rib cage further towards your knees. Exhale down. Pashimotanasana C. It's your own inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, up dog. Beautiful plank. Beautiful jump back. Come on through Kapotasana. Hips are up, feet are together. Intense east. Then exhale to sit down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, up dog. Nice, Amelia. Exhale, down dog. Inhale through jump. Seated half-bound lotus. Right knee folds. Right foot maybe in lotus or Janushrasana. Beautiful. Amelia, sometime when I figure out how to get into other people's bodies and be quiet and go through their practice, I would love to go through your practice with you. She's like, nice way to invite yourself over. After 5 breaths, check on Mula Bandha. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Trade sides, or take a Vinyasa, trade sides. Left foot, seated half-bound lotus. Ardha Baddha Padma Pashimotanasana. Check on Mula Bandha. Use your own inhale. Arch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right knee folds. Left foot jumps through. Beautiful. Trianga Mukha Ekapada Pashimotanasana. Oh my gosh. Nice. Julia, I love you. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Take that left foot under your right knee. Jump back. Nice, Gina. Left knee folds. Right foot is extended. Mula bandha, mula bandha, mula bandha. On your own inhale, arch, nice Maria. Exhale, take that right foot under your left knee. Janushrasana A. Right foot in against the left thigh. Beautiful. On an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale through jump, left foot. Janushrasana A. Sarah. After 5 breaths, it's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Janushrasana B. Through jump. Ooh. Sit down onto your right heel. I'm trying to adjust my lighting for a second. Sit down onto the right heel. Left leg is extended. Janushrasana B is a mudra and an asana. Ashtanga yoga, the ultimate in multitasking. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Optional vinyasa in between sides. Janushrasana B, side 2. Sit down onto the left heel. Beautiful. On an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Marichasana C. Right foot, ball of the foot on the floor, heel in toward the left leg, press in against that left femur. It's an exhale down. If your knee is low, you can fold forward. If your knee is high, stay up. Mine's kind of right in between today. It's lower than usual. Erica, 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 Erica. On an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Maya, if I haven't sent you the cheat sheets that I have, text me your address later and I'll get them in the mail next week. Left foot, ball of the foot on the floor, heel presses in toward that right femur. Ryan, I just figured out it was you. Hi. I love you. Getting a little morning yoga in. I think you're at Danae's mom's house because I don't recognize it. No, you're at your apartment? It's an inhale, arch after 5 breaths or after chatting. Exhale, release. Marichasana A. Right knee up, right arm wraps around. Left foot is extended. Nice, Maria. It's an inhale, arch, open the shoulder against the shin. Exhale, release. Left knee up, right foot extended. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kiss that knee. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Marichasana B, left foot half lotus or left foot tucked. Right knee up. After 5, inhale, arch. That was so lovely. Exhale, release. Second side. Right foot tucked or right foot half lotus. Left knee up. Marichasana B. some of the postures I get in and I'm like, my mind is like, I don't want you to think that I think on my mind. So I had to differentiate. My mind is like, oh my God, this is delicious. I could stay forever. And then my body is like, we're only staying for 5 breaths. And my mind is like, okay. And then pretty soon there's another piece of candy. My mind is like, oh my God, I love this. I could stay forever. And my body's like, we're only staying for 5 breaths. Try to enjoy all of the food equally. And my mind is like, I am here for discernment. I am here for decisions. I am here for opinions. And my body's like, yeah, that's what you think. Oh my gosh, that was funny. I mean, it was so stupid, it was funny. Marichasana C, right knee up, left arm across. It's an inhale, look forward, exhale, release. So in that Marichasana twist, I think there's a tendency to let the chin drift up, thinking that we're twisting further because we have this like kind of wiggly neck. But just like triangle, if you just barely tuck that chin down, I don't know, oops. If you barely tuck the chin down, it might accentuate the twist. I'm not sure. Mula Bandha, I'm sure of. All of the rest of it, I'm not sure. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. One more posture in first series, then we'll move on to second. Left foot half lotus or left foot tucked, twist around. It's an inhale, look forward, beautiful. Exhale out. Second side, Marichasana D. Rachel, you have such a nice atmosphere in your practice space. It's all kind of like blurry from the light. It's really beautiful. There was another one. Oh my gosh, I could stay for 100 breaths. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Jump both feet forward. Pashasana. I learned it twisting right first. I don't care which way you twist because we're going to twist both directions. Traditionally, heels are on the floor and you bind both knees the way that you would bind Marichasana. It's an inhale to look forward. There's no hurry. Take as much time as you want. Exhale, side two. You got it, Maria. Nice. Oh my gosh, Gina with the red curtain, I love you.
Are you trying to get your heels to the floor?
I mean, you're trying to get your heels to the floor. I have decided that skeletally my heels aren't going to the floor. I've decided that when I do that, I should take a break right before that posture and put on a pair of high heels. Or like really high heels, which I don't own yet, but there's a plan. Or I could use my special block, which I did not get out ahead of time because I'm not big into planning ahead. And since I closed the curtains, I didn't grab my block. Left knee folds. Right leg up, Trikanasana A, arms are straight. Mula Bandha all the time. And it's an exhale, Trikanasana B. Forehead toward the leg pretty much straight up. It's an inhale, arch, exhale, release. Right knee folds, Trikanasana A, arms are straight. Trikanasana B, head to the leg. Strong Mula Bandha, hollow Ujjayi. It's an inhale, arch, exhale, release. When you're ready, lie down onto your belly, Shalabhasana A. Palms face up, fingers are open. Beautiful. Forehead is high, drishti is to the floor. Hands pull forward, flip over, beautiful. Shalabhasana B. My arms are straight and I'm breaking my fingers off and my palms don't actually touch the floor. Here, watch this. Yes, yes, feel that in your hands. Isn't that nice? It's an inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto your belly. Grab up both feet, tuck them into the floor. Frog posture, Bekasana. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, you can do one at a time, or you can do both. Forehead is high, feet are low, Mula Bandha is on, forehead is high, Drishti is low, feet are low. Mireya, I'm going to go from the side. You've got it, but I'm going to go from the side anyway so you can see what I'm dealing with. And I have a hard time getting my chest up, so I put a little half block under my rib cage. Inhale, up dog sprinkles. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto your belly, full bow, Dhanurasana. Lick those feet, sprinkles, lick those feet. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto your belly. Lift up, roll right. Parasvadhanurasana. Beautiful. Up and over. Side two, Parasvadhanurasana, left shoulder. Nice, Maria. Up for 5 more. And release. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Come over onto the knees. Lean back. Ustrasana. Tuck the tailbone. Strong Mula Bandha. If you need your heels to be a little bit higher, go up onto the balls of the feet. Take yourself out. Beautiful. Choice 1. Do whatever you want. That could be watching, that could be child's pose, that could be running to the kitchen, anything. Choice 2, camel again. Nice, Erica. Choice 3, Laghu Vajrasana. Head is on the floor, hands are on the legs, and you do not have to get in from the top. Little thunderbolt. Mula Bandha feels completely different to me in a forward bend or a back bend. Next one, Kapotasana. And again, Camel, Ustrasana, or Laghu Vajrasana are both great. Hands go over the top. Fingers grab the heels, tuck your forehead in between your feet. And then arms are straight. Come up on your own. Beautiful, beautiful. That was Kapotasana A and B. Capo means pigeon. So that is actually what I know as pigeon. That's how come I call that super cozy one knee forward thing. That's how come I call that American pigeon, because Kapotasana is my pigeon. Half lotus, full lotus, crossed legs, whatever you've got. Have someone come in and anchor your legs a little bit for you. They do come up a bit when you go back. Otherwise, fake it any way you want. Head back, head on the floor, bum on the floor. Hands are crossed behind the back. Supta Vajrasana, reclining thunderbolt. Up and down 5 times. Down for 5 more. It's an inhale up and exhale out. And that wraps it up for the second series, back bending portion. Next posture is crane. We do it twice. You are welcome to do crane or crow or any squatting forward bend. Jump into the second one if you have special powers. I should say that before every single asana. Plank. Up dog. Down dog. Left knee folds like Trianga. Right foot half lotus on top of that left thigh. The left hand is like serving waffles and then spills the platter of waffles under the right knee. Bharadvajasana. Nice, nice, Amelia. Nice, 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 nice. And I lean way down into that hand. Yeah, this is a back bending twist. And in order to twist around further, I push off that bottom hand, and I can also walk the hand on the lotus foot further. Well, I can't, but you might be able to walk that lotus hand foot further down the shin. Always checking on Mula Bandha. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Either Vinyasa or trade sides. Right knee folds. Left foot half lotus up on top of that right femur. Right hand has whatever you want it to have. Tip it under the left so that eye of the elbow, the inside of the elbow is facing away from the body. Left hand wraps around the back, grabs that foot. Drishti is as far as you can take it. And once again, check on Mula Bandha. It's an inhale, look forward, beautiful. Exhale, release. Ardha Matsyendrasana. You guys, it's only 10:04. We're going to get a little further than we did last week. Woo! That's the first time I looked at the clock. The right foot hangs off the front of the knee. The left arm tries to go to the outside of that right knee. And if it doesn't work, just loop it. If it's easy, reach down, grab that foot. Maria, you've got it, you've got it. So once I get to the outside edge of that knee, you got it, you got it. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Trade sides. Maya, I love you. Left knee is up. Right foot is next to the left hip. And the back hand wraps around. I just tuck in and grab my tights. If it's easy, the left hand grabs the right thigh. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Left foot is extended, right foot up. Grab it with both hands. Either slip it behind your head, hands go to your chin, or they can go in prayer position, or keep that foot flexed and touch it in against your head. Yes, yes, yes. And then it's an exhale. Your leg is behind your head. You come down, your forehead lands on your leg is behind your head, and you reach out and grab your foot. So since I can't do that, what I do is I flex my foot and I set it below my knee, and then I come down and I put my head toward it. And I didn't mean to use the word can't. It's just, good dog, Sprinkles. It's just, yeah, Julia, you got it, you got it. And then it's an inhale up. Go ahead and tuck that calf, twist it up towards your ear, and set your hand down. So right now, your right leg is either behind your head or over your shoulder. Take a lift. Yes, 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 yes. And if you want, take a vinyasa or sit down, trade sides. Left foot, Eka Pashasana. Eka means one, Pada means foot, Shirsa means head. 1 foot head posture. I'm going to write a thank you letter to whoever didn't include the Sanskrit word for behind. Because if it's 1 foot head posture, I've actually got that. It's an exhale down. And again, I put my foot below my knee and lean down toward it. If your leg is behind your head, lean down with your leg behind your head. And then it's an inhale up. You can stick that leg up over your shoulder. Or if you're, nice. Or if your leg is behind your head, lift on up. Beautiful. Take a vinyasa. Jump both feet up around your hands like you would for Bujapirasana. Twist your calves up over your shoulders. Sit down onto your butt. Cross your feet behind your head. Dvipadasana, 2 feet, head posture. And nice. And then the hands come to the floor. Your feet are crossed behind your head and you hover. Your butt hangs low and your feet are crossed behind your head and point up toward the ceiling. Mireya, I have my elbows slightly bent. Let me show you from the front. Because at the front, it's such a good view. It looked like one of those bugs you find in the house in the middle of winter. See how my elbows are a little bit bent? That helps me. I mean, it didn't help me get my leg behind my head, but it helped me get my butt up off the floor. Vinyasa, lie down onto the back. Yogi Nidrasana. 2 feet behind the head, lying on the back. Hands clasped behind your back if it's easy. Yogi is a person who does yoga. Nidra means sleep. Sometimes it's a specific type of sleep, sometimes it's just regular sleep. Asana means posture. Yogi, sleeping posture. If you were in a cave in the Himalayas, you might sleep that way to stay warm. That's what I heard. It's so funny how Chakrasana, if you want it, it's so funny how some of these postures are super functional. Like fish, Matsyasana in Lotus is actually a floating posture. People used to travel downstream floating in that position because it was faster than walking. And they walked everywhere. They were probably tired of walking. And then that sleeping yogi posture, it's supposed to keep you really warm. Firefly. Five floating. 5 standing. Five walking. 5 walking back to where you were. Heels point toward each other. Maybe they touch. It's basically, it's called Titibasana E or D, I don't know, E. And the hands interlace around the fronts of the ankles. It's kind of a killer posture. It's basically 2 feet behind the head, standing on your feet. And then flying again. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to tell you all of your choices. Choice 1, do whatever you want. Choice 2, forearm stand. Choice 3, back bends. Choice 4, shoulder stand. So you could either do the next posture in second series, which is forearm stand, or you could go into your back bends if you're going to do more back bends, or you could go into closing sequence, do closing sequence on your own. I would say sun salutations are the first thing to memorize. I'm really breathing hard. And closing sequence is probably the second thing to memorize because I slack off at that point and usually do my own thing for a while. And, or you can skip shoulder stand and headstand, and you could go into the 3 finishing postures, which are bound lotus, seated lotus, lifted lotus, or pretend bound lotus, something seated, skip the lifted, take shavasana. Marga, 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 Marga. Marga, I think we did your favorite twist today. Nice, Mireya. Nice. Sarah, 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 Sarah. Nice, Rachel. Nice, Rachel. So you guys, I was just thinking about, there must be some used David Swenson books for sale. And then I thought, oh, I wonder if there's any at Goodwill. And then I thought, oh, I have a Goodwill story. You guys, some of you know Brandy. Anyway, she's a member of the studio. One day she was in shopping at Goodwill, our local Goodwill, and she found a framed picture of a person doing yoga. And she was like, it's $1. I have to take this home. The fucking picture was of me. someone had framed a picture of me on one of my, like, when I used to have paper schedules, like, cardstock, and they had framed it and it ended up at Goodwill and she bought it and took it home. Oh, that's such a good story. That's so funny. Sometimes when I see some things in yoga, I'm like, is this a practical joke? Is someone actually taking their time and energy to play a practical joke on me? And that was definitely one of them. But it was just a story. It was just true. Another one was the first time I ever saw people do Garbhapindasana, because when I was practicing Ashtanga, I was all by myself and I didn't understand. And then I showed up to this workshop with Beryl and Tom and, like 50 other people. And I had to watch a class before I was allowed to take a class. And that almost killed me. And then all of a sudden, everyone was rolling around with their feet crossed or in Lotus or in Lotus and bound, like any variation on it. Everyone was rolling. And I thought, is this a joke? Like, is this like candid camera? Like someone's going to pop out and be like, ha, ha, ha. And no, it wasn't. It's an actual yoga posture. And I've done it all the time ever since then. Anyway, yoga is funny. Yoga for entertainment, yoga for comedy, yoga for health, yoga for mental health, yoga for friendship. That's why I do yoga. Yoga for clarity. Yes, 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 Julia, you are playing a joke on me. Nice, nice back bend. Nice back bend by the shiny tree. Yes, that is amazing. So Sarah and I talk about this philosophy. I would say it comes up at least once a month. And the philosophy is that I like to know the rules so I can break the rules. I like to know when I'm breaking a rule. I don't want to be out in the world fluffing around, not even knowing when I'm breaking a rule. Like, I want to know the protocol for Ashtanga well enough that I know when I'm not following it. Right? So I just thought I'd tell you that. I'm going to read for about 10 minutes. This is a book, the biography of Swami Rama. It's called At the 11th Hour by Pandit Rajmani Tignuate. And if anyone knows how to pronounce this guy's name, please unmute and tell me, because I've been reading for 57 pages and I've never remembered to look up the pronunciation. Do you know, Amelia?
I think part of it is Panditji.
Panditji. Yeah, for his, so that's what I've always called him, is Panditji. But on here, it has his name because it has to be an official author. So it's Pandit Rajmani Tig.
I thought you were saying he was a pundit and that's his first name.
He is a
It's Tigonite. Tigonite.
Tigonite. I'm going to try to
That's
remember
what I
that.
think.
And if I don't, I'm now going to call Maria and say it again.
Well, no, don't. But, well, the thing is that
Yeah.
Sanskrit is very, it's like a Spanish that is very,
Tignuit. Say it one more time.
I don't know that I
know,
could
just
not know
speak
that.
it.
Then I'm wrong and then I.
Oh, just no. That's the whole thing. It doesn't matter.
What if I'm wrong and then you say it wrong and then you think
I say it wrong every time. So if you're wrong and I'm still saying it wrong, nothing will have changed.
show me the name, show me the book. What I would say is Tigunite.
Good night. Okay, that's what I'm going to try to say. All right. So I had just read the part. Oh, hello, Isaac. I love you. I had just read the part about how there was a trial in India, and it's called the Bawal Sayanasi case. And it's where this guy died. They cremated his body, and someone, I think his wife, but maybe it wasn't his wife, his family inherited all of his land. I think he might have been a king or someone important. Anyway, he becomes important. And then like 6 years later, he shows up in the village and he's like, hey, I need my house and my land back. And people are like, no, you're dead. And he's like, but I'm not. And so the person who wrote the book is talking about their teacher, Boli Baba. And Boli Baba at this part is talking about his teacher, who I can't remember his name, and he brought this dude back from the dead. And there's a case in India still on the books about it. And he did win the case and he got his land back. Let's see. So that's kind of what this is talking about. Bawal Sayanasi, the Prince Swami, was a disciple of Baba Dharam Das. He was Boli's guru brother. He left the world and became a monk under the most unusual circumstances. Blitz summarized the case as follows. An heir to one of the richest Zamindars kingdoms of Bengal is declared dead and properly cremated toward the close of the first decade of the century. 12 years later, he makes a dramatic reappearance and is recognized by his sister and grandmother, but is rejected by his wife as an impostor. He files a case toward the end of the third decade for the restitution of his rights to his property, and the suit is finally decreed in his favor by the Privy Council in July of 1946. This is the fantastic Bawal Sayanasi case, which has no parallel in the legal annals of the world. Since Babaji was the one who brought this dead prince back to life, he was the subject of wild talk and speculation throughout the case. Are such miracles really possible? Are such masters still in the world? How do we recognize them? Baba Dharan Das and a few other disciples gave their testimony and stood up under the relentless cross-examination of the attorneys. The story of how Bawal Sayanasi was found, how he was revived, how he was initiated, how he received his training as a monk, under what circumstances he was sent back to his home, and years later, of his sudden death 2 days before the case was finally resolved, gives us a glimpse of what Babaji truly was. According to Blitz, Bawal Sayanasi had been a prince of one of the richest kingdoms in East Bengal, Bawal Raj, before becoming a monk. His name was Ramendra Narayana Roy Chowdhury, and he was the king's second son. People affectionately called him Mijo Kumar, the second Kumar. He lived with his parents and an older and a younger brother in a luxurious palace 20 miles from Dhaka, the capital city of modern Bangladesh. The palace was furnished with regular splendor, dance halls, music rooms, stables for elephants. Please let me go there. Please let me go spend a while there. Stables for elephants and horses, and even a miniature zoo. There was a host of servants, and a doctor was available around the clock. The princes were surrounded by sycophants who fed their vanity and inflated their sense of self-importance. In this indulgent atmosphere, they ran through a series of tutors, one after the other, learning only enough Bengali and English to sign their names. When the king died in 1901, Ramendra was only 17, and with his father's death, the few restraints on the prince were lifted. He plunged into a life of utter indulgence, spending his nights drinking and consorting with prostitutes and his mornings riding and hunting. At the age of 18, Ramendra married a beautiful girl, but this did not stop him from running after the women of easy virtue. Eventually, he contracted a venereal disease and his health began to decline. He went to Calcutta for treatment, accompanied by the palace doctor Das Gupta and his wife's brother, Satyanendra Nath Banjari. Then, following his brother-in-law's advice, they went to Darjeeling in the eastern Himalayas to improve his health. The prince's brother-in-law, Satyanandra, made all the arrangements. The prince stayed at the famous bungalow Step Aside, which later became the residence of one of India's greatest personalities, D.B. Chitrananja Das, and it was at this house that Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Annie Besant stayed while visiting Darjeeling. The prince's health continued to deteriorate, and he began to have bloody diarrhea. Within 3 weeks, he was pronounced dead at midnight, May 8, 1909, by both the family physician and the civil surgeon of Darjeeling. The cremation was scheduled for the morning of May 9th, and the funeral pyre was prepared on the bank of a stream. The body was placed on the pyre, and more sticks were piled above the corpse. But the moment the pyre was lit, a torrential downpour began to fall. The prince's brother-in-law, the doctor, and the other relatives and friends ran for shelter, leaving a few attendants to restart the fire after the rain had passed. But it had rained so hard that the stream swelled and washed away the pyre and the bamboo cot to which the corpse was still tied. The attendants, seeing the corpse floating away, frantically ran after it, but they failed to retrieve it. And when they told the prince's brother-in-law what had happened, Satyanandra ignored their information and declared the cremation complete. The body floated several miles downstream and washed up at a spot near the cave where Babaji was living in the company of 4 disciples. In the evening, they heard a strange sound coming from the riverbank, and Babaji sent his disciples, Baba Darshan Das and Baba Lok Das, to investigate. They came back to report that a funeral cot had washed up near the river and there was a body tied to it. Babaji told them the man was his student and that they should get him. So the sadhus untied the knots and carried him to the cave, removing his wet clothes and covering him with dry ones. Then they moved him to the house of a villager who lived nearby, and there Babaji had the man's head shaved and applied some herbal paste to his scalp. The man began to breathe. Soon, news of the rescue spread throughout the village. And to avoid the crowd that was beginning to gather, Babaji and his disciples moved the unconscious man further down the hill to another village. Within 3 days, he regained consciousness, but he suffered from total amnesia. In a few more days, he was strong enough to walk with them. The small band of sadhus left the area. They resurrected Prince Bawal, now the child of Baba Dharam Das. He was like a newborn baby. Babaji and the other sadhus taught him from scratch, beginning with the basic skills of life and moving on to the Hindi alphabet. He was a fast learner, and in a few years he mastered Hatha Yoga and became proficient in the knowledge of alchemy and Ayurveda, the system of medicine indigenous to India. Applying this knowledge, the now disciplined prince became healthy and as strong as a bull. In Babaji's company, he ranged across the vastness of the Himalayas and wandered through the Vindhya mountains and across northern India. By the time they reached the holy shrine of Amaranth in Kashmir, almost 4 years had passed, and there Babaji finally initiated him into a formal practice. Soon after receiving the mantra, he began to wonder where he had been born and who his parents were, and he asked Babaji on several occasions, but the only answer he got was, "I shall send you home when the proper time comes." A few more years passed. Babaji was staying at Brachahata. Listen to the spelling of this word. Brachhhhatra. There's 3 H's and a C smushed together with no vowels in them. That's a cool word. Anyway, in Nepal, along with several sadhus, including the Prince Swami, when suddenly the sadhu remembered that his home was in East Bengal, somewhere near Dhaka. As soon as Babaji heard this, he said to him, "Go, your time has come." As he was leaving, however, Babaji told him that he could tear off Maya, the veil of illusion. If he could tear off Maya, he could come back and rejoin them. By now, the prince was a Naga sadhu, and he had matted long hair, a long beard, and dressed only in a loincloth. Naga, N-A-G-A, Naga means snake, and snakes are naked, so most Naga Babas or Naga sadhus are naked. Anyway. He was a Naga sadhu with dreads and a long beard, dressed only in a loincloth and smeared with ashes from head to toe. He still did not know who he was, who his relatives were, or the exact location of his home. He knew only that it was somewhere near Dhaka. Finally, after wandering a few years, he reached Dhaka in December of 1920. He built his dhuni, his fire, under a tree on the outskirts of the city and sat in Padmasana for 4 months, day and night, facing the fire. He had a tattoo on his arm that read, "Baba Dharam Das Ka Chela Naga," Naga disciple of Baba Dharam Das. But people immediately noticed a striking resemblance between this sadhu and Prince Ramendra. They were sure this man was actually the Prince of Bawal. The news spread like wildfire. Among those who recognized him was the prince's old friend, the Raja Kashimpur, a small state just a few miles to the northwest of the palace where the prince had grown up. The Raja took the sadhu to his own palace, and after 5 or 6 days sent him to Jadipur on an elephant. When he arrived, however, the sadhu dismounted and seated himself near a temple close to the palace. He was still not clear about who he was or what his relationship was to this place. But in no time, relatives, servants, and hundreds of citizens recognized him. The prince's older sister heard the news, and out of curiosity, she sent her son to bring the sadhu into the palace. Once there, he recognized his sister and grandmother instantly. He began to sob when he saw the photo of his younger brother who had died during his 12-year absence, and was further grieved to hear that his older brother had also died. The palace now contained only widows, and the kingdom was controlled by the court of wards. As reported in Blitz, on being asked why he, an ascetic, was weeping, the Sayanasi remarked cryptically, "Maya makes me weep." When asked whether he was Kumar Ramendra Naranya, the Sayanasi replied, "No, I am nothing to you." Meeting with his family and other residents of the palace churned up a storm of emotions. His past and present collided, and he was caught in the middle. He knew he was a sadhu and a disciple of Baba Dharam Das, but he also realized that he was the Prince of Barwal. Summoning his courage, he said again, "I am nothing to you," and walked out of the palace, returned to Dhaka, and resumed his life beside his fire. But people would not leave him alone. His sister followed him and eventually managed to bring him back to the palace, where he was not allowed to smear his body with ashes. Instead, he was bathed in traditional royal fashion, and after careful scrutiny, his sister found the mark left by a carriage wheel when Ramanendra was young. She was free of all doubt. This sadhu was her brother. The sadhu, however, did not want to be confined to the palace. It goes on, but we'll stop there. So weird. So interesting. All right. Hello, Weasel. Does anyone have any questions or any topics that you want to explore?
That was just lovely. My body feels so good after. I have not done secondary very often, but doing primary right into secondary felt really good.
Good, good. Yeah.
My body liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Anybody else?
I was just thinking about this calf. It's not really relevant to anything, but when we were doing some of the seated twists and you were mentioning about the chin and the tendency to lift the chin.
Yeah.
I think there's another tendency there, which is to lean back. And I find that if I focus on leaning forward, I get a lot more twist. I bring the torso weight forward.
Yeah. I agree. So in Marichasana C, there's a tendency to have both butt cheeks on the floor. And then when people start to try to bind, there ends up being no weight in that foot.
Yes.
Right? And then when they twist, the head lifts up and the neck is kind of over, it's in a back bend. The neck is bending backwards. Where really, if you can come forward and get that knee forward, it's easier to get around. Now, at that point, just because of the tension in my body, my butt cheek and my sit bone are not on the floor. And if I bind, again, there's a tendency to lift the chin, thinking we're getting more out of it. But if I tuck the chin, I can kind of get around a little further.
Yeah. I remember you saying a long time ago, the body will follow the eyes. So if you can use your drishti in those twist postures, it's sort of an underutilized resource, but that can take you a little further.
Yeah.
Such a good way to think about it.
I also feel like in all of the forward bends, whether it's standing or seated, if you look toward your belly button, I mean, a lot of times I can't see my belly button, but I can see Mula Bandha. So tucking like contracts the front side of the body. And then also the drishti reminds you of Mula Bandha.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I had.
Nice. Isaac has something. No?
About twisting, seated postures that twist?
I don't know. You just look
I discovered that it's very helpful to let my heart center be the bulk of the rotation motivator, and that my head and the drishti are kind of the dressing at the top. So that the rotation is really coming from a very deep place, and that sometimes we get like really caught up with how far around the corner we can see. And the real benefit in the twist for me is just getting my sternum to be perpendicular from my pelvis.
Yeah.
And then let the head and neck rotation sort of dress the top of the spine instead of trying to make more twist happen with my chin.
Yeah, I maybe I didn't say that right. Because the twisting postures are they're not a big stretch for me. They're pretty accessible, I guess is a good way to say it. But
it's so polite.
If it's an accessible posture, then I think you can use the drishti to go further. But I agree, you wouldn't want to be just trying to be an owl and get your head all the way around if your body's not in that.
Sometimes I think about my drishti being at a point outside of the four walls that I'm in. like a sunset or a faraway landscape. And so that the spine stays contained as it rotates. And my drishti is just what I can see a long ways away.
I like that. That's pretty
Nice. So I think
I just want to say I like all this talk about those twisting postures, because those are my biggest problem. Like I have a hard time figuring out where everything goes. So this is very helpful. All of it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And also, I do feel like repetitive practice, anything that's accessible, we gain fairly quickly. And then anything that we are genetically, historically, like our ancestors were not, my ancestors were not super flexible. And anyway, so then we get to deal with more. And I do think that little tuck of the chin for a triangle or for these twists, that little tuck of the chin, lengthening the back of the neck can sometimes lengthen the whole, like add space within the whole spine and get that chest further around. Go ahead.
There's a beautiful image in one of the body mind centering, like Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen workshops that I did at school that used the metaphor of a bicycle chain aligned on the spine so that the back of the spine was traveling up and then the front of the spine was traveling down. So this cyclical bicycle chain momentum really helped to do that.
That's one of the first pranayama visualizations that most people are given, and it's called I forget what it's called, micro dosing. No, that's not it. I forget what it's called, but it's like called micro something, and its energy comes up the back and falls down. So when you inhale, energy comes up the spine, circles over the top of the head, and as you exhale, it cascades down. And then as you inhale, is that it? Yeah, as you inhale, it travels up the back. Anyway. Micro orbit. That's what it's called, the micro orbit. Micro orbit pranayama.
Parallel to the meridian system in Chinese?
Yes, it comes from that school. Yeah. Do you know about it, Rachel?
Not any more than you, I'm sure.
Okay. So another thing that I liked that Isaac said about the drishti is my teacher used to say soft drishti. And it was like your eyes didn't have to be focused. You could have unfocused eyes for your entire asana practice. And Beryl and Tom, well, Tom mostly, encouraged people who wore glasses to take their glasses off during practice so that they could use the eye position without having to have that like sharp focus. And when I'm in seated forward bend, I'm right down on my shin and I have a naturally soft drishti because I'm just too close to my legs to have a sharp focus. But most of the time, my drishti is a pretty sharp in focus sort of thing. I never really mastered the soft drishti. But when Isaac's talking about looking like to the horizon beyond the wall, or some people, they cross their eyes a lot and they look at the tip of their nose. And that's also a pretty soft focus. I don't use that. I was taught that the nose drishti was actually about 18 inches past the nose. And I was taught that the third eye drishti was actually up above the head. So my drishti points are, I don't know if you can see that, below and above, where now you'll see pictures of people where they're like super cross-eyed because they're literally trying to look right there.
That reminds me of the Steve Martin movie from the 80s called The Jerk, when he developed the Optilens or something, and it was just these glasses you put on the end of your nose, and he became a millionaire, and then soon after he was bankrupt because everybody went cross-eyed from looking at the middle of their nose.
I might have to watch that movie.
Ridiculous movie. but it is pretty. I mean, if you like stupid humor, I really like it. It's pretty funny. The other thing I was thinking about drishti, soft versus focus. I think there are times a focused drishti, like for me in the balancing postures, a focused drishti totally helps. I think that's another place where the drishti is sort of underrated. You know, like the drishti for me anyway, in the balancing postures is kind of key.
I mean, I feel like the drishti is one of the most important things going on. Like it's Mula Bandha and Ujjayi Pranayama, they tie for first place in my hierarchy, which I don't believe in my hierarchy of importance. And then second place is drishti.
Yeah.
And then like eighth place is the asana. And those other ones, I don't know what those are. The places in between. I'm not sure what fills in those areas. But for me, Mula Bandha and Ujjayi Pranayama are really what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the template of knowing what comes next and knowing whether it's an inhale or an exhale and knowing which posture comes next. Like I did have to put a lot of effort into, a lot of time and effort into learning it and memorizing it. And it was really important. So I feel like I kind of had to, I was practicing drishti, pranayama, and mula bandha, and uddiyana bandha, and, you know, everything that we're practicing. I was practicing it, but I was really trying to learn it so that I could know it without thinking.
Yeah.
And that took a while. So for a while, asana and sequence, and whether it's an inhale or an exhale, for a while, that was kind of in first place.
Yeah.
And then once I got it, it's no longer in first place. I can totally take it for granted. And it never complains.
I wanted to say two other things and then I'm going to mute.
Okay.
Was to remember Maria wanted to do the closing chant.
Oh, look it, you did it. You reminded us. Okay. And then what's the other one?
The other was when she asked the question about when you used to be in the studio together. And then when Rachel hopped on, I saw her Zoom picture of her and Margaret. And I thought, oh my God, I had this memory so many times today while I was practicing of Margaret, who was like barely walking and she was shirtless in a red tutu. It was just so great. I just remember her being in the studio and just being one of the studio babes. And when your picture was up, I was like, oh my God, Margaret, she's like, how old is she?
If she were here right now, she would be trying to steal the whole show. She would want to talk to you guys the whole time. She'd be like, why aren't they talking to me if I muted us? Like, she's a big girl. She's very communicative, and she's grown up a lot.
How old is she?
How old is she?
Oh, she's 3.5 now. Well, yeah, she's gonna be 4 in 4 months.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. Well, it's just a fond studio memory. Margaret, naked except for a tutu and a diaper.
I really appreciate everything that we have ever done together. Like the other day, I was practicing primary, and you know how I'm basically facing that little bookshelf, and I'm leading through primary, and I started pretending that I was practicing around, like, you know, all these people from a long time ago, like 20 or 30 years ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember this group, like, you know, and I would think of like 4 or 5 people and I'd pretend I was practicing with them. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, remember this group that became friends. And I'd think about practicing with them. Anyway, it was really funny because I was alone. I think there were like 3 or 4 of us doing primary that day, but anyway.
I'm going to move. Don't forget about closing chant.
Okay. So Rachel, thank you for sharing
Hey, I got
your
a question.
family with us. Yeah. What, Duncan?
Hey, so I got a question. In my contemplation about asana, I've come up with a theory that it's about the energetics of the stretching, the postures. That when we do these stretches, the asana, that it invokes love within people who are part of our social groups. And it's just like, it just makes so much sense.
And what if it does that with people who aren't part of our social groups? What if it just does that?
Probably that too, yeah. Probably. And it
10
was
points for Duncan.
what?
I said 10 points for Duncan.
Right on. It's just it's so fascinating because like, and then I think about India, and I've heard like stories about India being one of the most like peaceful countries on the planet. I mean, I know there's some crazy shit going on over there. I don't know what, but it's just like, it just makes sense. It's just such a happy thought that like, just create peace and love.
So there was a study done by a
Yeah.
woman
Yeah.
that was a doctor at a university, and it was that if you stretch your connective tissue, which if you stretch at all, you are also stretching your connective tissue. If you stretch your connective tissue, it releases all of the good endorphins that make you feel connection and love and community,
Right.
and
Right.
contentment and all of these things. So I thought, I need to get a hold of this study. She was a UVM.
Yeah.
I don't know her, and I don't remember her name, and I don't have the study currently like on my computer or anything. It was years ago, but I was like, oh my gosh, this study happened right here.
Right.
That's
I
so
mean, like,
cool.
when I do an asana, my whole body, it just feels electric. It feels alive. And it's like, if I was so sore this morning and yesterday from doing cardio and skiing and things. It's like this morning I just did an asana, and the aches and pains, they're gone.
Excellent.
Something else about the postures invoking and stimulating love and people. It's like I'm talking about unconditional love. Yeah,
Right.
I don't,
I knew that.
you knew that. Okay, good. Yeah.
Can I just say, Duncan, you couldn't have said what was on my mind more perfectly. I'm new here, and
Right.
I'm in Florida, and the only reason I know you guys is because I have a friend that I used to work with who did a yoga talk with Kathy, and from that moment of meeting Kathy, I could feel the energy of your group, the energy from Kathy and from Sarah. You guys don't know me, I don't know you, but I feel so welcomed. I feel like I belong. I feel a sense of community in this box of a computer more than I have felt in any other yoga studio I have ever walked into. I have been on a search for like my place, right? Where's my studio? I want to learn yoga. I want to learn it, not just go and stretch, right? And this is my place. And I have to say, it's because of this pandemic that I ended up finding you. And so I want to take that blessing and share it with you. And I just want to, I'm so cheesy and I'm so over the top with my emotions sometimes, but I just want to say that I really am grateful for this space, and I'm going to cry, so I'm going to mute. So thank you so much.
I love you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we all love each other really easily.
Yeah.
And usually I don't know people's last names. I don't know, like I don't keep track of anything, but we have this common thing where we all come together and
Can I say something?
1 second. And I also just want to say, but you can, Maria. I also just want to say that the reason that we got to meet up like this from all over the place is because Sarah figured this all out. So this is like a studio that Sarah created that was our studio prior was a springboard for this, and I didn't build any part of this. I just get to show up and like play with us all. So I did want to mention that this beautiful studio Sarah built. Go ahead, Maria.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I didn't mean to
I just wanted.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that, the other day we were talking about like what is a teacher and why do we we find these teachers and what does that mean? And then I was thinking about you because I've worked with my body since I was a little girl, dancing and been practicing yoga. And like Gina, it's the first time that I found you, and it was like, oh, you know what? That is like fucking pure love. It's like you showed me that there is no, and my kids are like, why do you tell her that you love her? That's weird. And I'm like, you know what? It is so, because it's so weird for people to hear, I love you, and
I think
it's
they
like,
get used to
it's
it
so
really quickly.
pure.
Don't you think they get used to it real quickly? Because I
But
remember.
we lost that ability to just say, and feel these connections and feel just like Duncan was saying, this unconditional love. I mean, we're just here together. We practice, we breathe, we're happy. It's just, I feel so grateful for this, and for you, Kathy, and for everything that you all bring to us, Sarah and you and everybody here, because it has made my life so different, for sure.
Yeah, this us is actually, hi Gina's kid. This is actually like what keeps me going and what keeps me like balanced and keeps me like playful. Yeah. All right, cool. I love us all. We'll do the closing chant. And thank you for reminding me. And you guys, thank you for sharing your love with each other and sharing all of the appreciation. And if you don't know the closing chant, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It ends with an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then we, as a group, we do one more Om, but traditionally that last Om isn't in there.
And I did post on YouTube, so there's a you doing closing chant with the words.
Oh,
Chant with us?
Look at that. Awesome. All right, inhale. Om Swasti Prajabhyaha Pare Palyantam Nayena Margena Mahim Shaha Go Brahmnebhyaha Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Have a beautiful Saturday.
Namaste. Love you, Kath.
Thanks for coming. Love you. Love you, Erica. Love you, Jules. Love you, Duncan.
Kathy,
Love you, Gina.
is that a chant that you do, the closing chant, you only do it after a primary?
No, you can do it anytime you want. And traditionally it was, things changed. So how it ends up being used is everyone does it at the end of practice. And it used to be we would all take Shavasana, then we would sit up and do the closing chant. So that's how I do it. Then it got changed to people would do it, they would take a vinyasa, a full vinyasa, all the way up to standing into samastatihi. After that final lifted lotus, they would take a vinyasa, stand up, do it then, and then lie down into Shavasana. Before that, everyone used to just Om, and Patabi Joyce used to go, and people were like, hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? What are you doing? He was like, it's just a blessing, like I'm giving blessing. It's just a chant. Don't worry about it. And finally, I don't remember what year, but I think it was in the 90s that people convinced him to teach it to them. But before that, no one knew what he was saying or doing. And the opening chant is actually the first half of one chant and the second half of another chant put together. And then the closing chant is the same thing. It's two different chants. I don't remember, but one of them is a chant to Ganesh. And it has half of that chant and it has half of another chant that have been smushed together to make the closing chant.
Thank you, Kat. I love
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Love you.
Bye,
Bye,
Sarah.
Andrea. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Danae's iPad with the little cutie dog. I love you, Ryan. Love everybody. Bye.